Good afternoon, everybody. MG here, MGCovers, bringing you a brand new handicapping video, how to turn a profit in sports betting, only hitting 50% winners. No, this is not clickbait. This is all legit. I'm going to explain it, break it down in this video. Before we do that, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate all the subscribers. Not as big as I thought it would be after, almost 2 years, but definitely appreciative of everybody that makes comments on the channel, that is subscribed to the channel. Love interacting with you guys. If you want to follow me on all the social media outlets, it is MGCovers, covers spelled with a Z. That's on Facebook, that's on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you get a lot of nuggets, things that I don't normally have time to make a full video about. I'll put in my storyline on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you get a lot of good sports betting nuggets and information. All right, so we're going to dive right into this, and I love using relevant examples rather than to think of, show you guys some hypotheticals. Let's look at some actual sports betting plays. So I'm going to talk about how to turn a profit in sports betting, hitting 50% winners. This is so important, and this is a huge mistake, what I'm going to show you guys, that the majority of you are making in sports betting with how you structure your wagers, okay? So first thing we do, let's look at... All right, so we had two plays yesterday. The first was Georgia State plus 145. And I know what you're going to say. Georgia State was a public team, MG. They were a public team as that line closed. We played this at about 12 noon yesterday. Yeah, 11:50. You can see when I sent out the wager. And FYI, clients get my wagers exactly the same time that I place them. I send them via Telegram. You can see their timestamp, 11:59. So at the time, Georgia State was getting about 48% of the tickets. We had Georgia State winning this one. Obviously, they did not, which that's kind of not part of the video, but just want to show you the two wagers that we had. So we had Georgia State at plus 145, and you look at there, the unit size, 1/3 unit. That means for $100 players, I was recommending they only wager $33. So whatever your unit size is, only wager 1/3 of that, okay? Now, if you flip over here, our second wager we had was my Braves at plus 200. That was the game that actually won. Now, if you look up there where it says 1/5 unit, we only wagered a 1/5 unit and not a 1/3 unit. So for a $100 player, that would be $20. You said, why did you do that? And why didn't you wager a full 1/3 unit? Well, because the line was plus 200. And you can see my notes there. If we split either side and go 1 and 1, we still have a winning day based on this unit structure. I could have wagered a full 1/3 unit, but then all I'm doing is risking more units, right? Because if we lose both games, a 1/3 and a 1/3, we would have been down minus 0.6 units. Whereas the way I have this structured, we're only down, if we lose both games, a 1/2 unit, and I only risked a 1/5 unit on the Braves. If the Braves win, that will cover our loss on the Georgia State game and give us a little bit of profit. So I'm going to explain all this. You'll be able to see it, how I have this structured. So let's take a look at, let's look at this scenario first. Georgia State. This is a scenario of Georgia State winning and the Braves losing, okay? So let's say Georgia State wins and the Braves would have lost last night. So the line that we played was plus 145 divided by 3. You said, where do you get the 3 from? Remember, we wagered a 1/3 unit. So that would give us 0.48 units profit from that game. So a $100 player would be up $48. Now we are assuming hypothetically we lost the Braves game. So what did we wager in the Braves game? We wagered a 1/5 unit. Diet Ginger Ale. I need a sponsor. All right, so we take the 0.48 units we won minus the 0.20 units we lost in the Braves game. That gives us a net of 0.28 units. And you're saying to yourself, well, I'm not impressed with 0.28 units. Well, if you take 0.28 units, multiply that times 365 days, that is 102.2 units per year, which means a $100 player would be up $10,200. A dime player like myself would make over 102,000, averaging just 0.28 units per day. And I think the big misconception in our business is one of the mistakes you guys make, and I'm going to talk about this, and I've made in the past. You're wagering too much and putting too much risk out there. You got 5 plays, you're wagering 5 units total. What happens if you go 1 and 4? Now you're down, 3 units plus juice, and it's just very, very difficult to make that up. So you want to lower that risk considerably, and rather than thinking about wagering full units, cut a lot of that wager structure in half. If you become a client, I teach you how to do all that. It's relatively simple. It might seem mind-boggling at first, but the way I teach it, it's very easy to understand. But anyway, 102 units total for a full year, only averaging 0.28 units of profit. Now, let's look at the scenario that actually went down. Okay, the Braves won, and of course, Georgia State lost. So the Braves win, so they won at plus 200. You take 200 minus 5. Where did I get the 5 from? Remember, we're only wagering 1/5 unit. 1/5 from, or a fifth from, or you say 100 divided by 5 is 20. So multiply that times the 200. That gives us 0.40 units earned from the Braves game. Now we lost the Georgia State game, so we take 0.4 units minus 0.33 units gives us a whopping profit of 0.07 units. Again, you might not be impressed with 0.07 units. However, on a long-term basis, 0.07 units times 365 days equals 25.55. That would be 25 units in a year's time would be more profitable than 99.9% of the people that wager on sports. I don't have the facts, the stats to back that up, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on that one. Because most people lose in this business anyway, so to even earn a profit would be better than the majority of people, much less 25 units of profit. So again, and when you look at this, just remember this. You don't have to wager as much each day as you think you do in order to turn a profit. And the beautiful thing about the way I structured this wager, I only had to go 1 and 1 in order to turn a profit. And that's why I sent it out to clients that way. Structuring this wager in order to turn a profit. The majority of you, the way you're wagering is you're trying to think in terms of winning. Which team's going to win. You're giving no regard or no respect to how to structure your wagers so that you can give yourself the best opportunity to turn a profit. Let's talk about the way you guys structure your wagers. And there's probably people that had this bet. Okay. This is what the general public's ticket probably looked like. So you had Arkansas State minus 3.5, minus 110. And the Dodgers, it was too much money to play on the money line. And you thought, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to play the Dodgers on the run line. Another mistake, minus 1.5, minus 145. Run line's probably not a good wager the way Major League Baseball is right now with the unpredictable element. I've made a ton of videos about this in the past and talked about this. But anyway, kind of off topic. But anyway, when you look at this structure, I want you to really let this sink in. You had Arkansas State minus 3.5, minus 110. You played the Dodgers minus 1.5 on the run line, minus 145. The only way you can turn a profit with that card, you have to be perfect. You have to go 2-0 to turn a profit on that particular card. You, Mr. Amateur, you have to go 2-0 on that card to turn a profit. Any other scenario, you're losing money. Look at that first scenario. I have 100. Let's say you win the Arkansas State game. You lose the Dodgers game. Okay, that you would end up with minus 0.45 units, right? In the hole, minus 0.45. Let's say you win the Dodgers game, but you win the Dodgers game, but lose the Arkansas State game. You're still going to lose. So 50%, you're still losing, where the way I have it structured, it's profitable 50% with either team winning. And then, of course, worst case scenario happens, and this happens a lot. Let's say you lose both of those games, just minus 110, and you add in the 145 you lost with the Dodgers. If you're wagering full units, now you're minus 0.255 units in the hole. that's hard to come out. Just that one day right there. And you have several days strung along like that, you get in a hole, just impossible to come back from that. So the biggest takeaway from all this is, number one, you're playing, most of you are probably playing too much juice. You're not factoring in underdogs. And here you have to, there's a lot to understand about sports. Baseball and NHL, I don't know if you know this or not, underdogs win in baseball and NHL 40% of the time. That's a statistical fact. You can go look that up. There's tons of websites. I'll send you the link to it. NHL and Major League Baseball, underdogs win 40% of the time. So if you make 10 underdog plays, statistically, 4 of those are going to hit. And there probably might be enough profit in there in the underdog margin to cover the 6 losses. That's just based on statistical probability. And like what I try to do, the way I structure my wagers, I'm trying to hit about 50%, which is generally what I do. Last year, it's a good point, I was 28 and 24 in NFL. That's only 53% winners, but ended up turning right at, it was like 9.5 units of profit. So $9,500 for me. The NHL season, not this year, but the year before that, we cut 30 units of profit. My NHL record, 117 and 115. Best NHL season I've ever had in my career. That's 50%, right at 50%. And still cut a huge profit. So, again, you need to incorporate money line dogs into your wagering. And you need to structure your wagers so that you increase your chances of turning profit. And the way that I structured that card from yesterday, there was 3 things that could happen. We could go 0-2. We could go 1-1 with the Braves winning. We could go 1-1 with Georgia State winning. So out of those 3 possibilities, we're making profit on 2 of those. Whereas the way majority of you guys wager, you only have one scenario where you're turning a profit, and that's going 2-0. So anyway, hopefully that video helps. If you want to learn how to do all this, I teach it. I have a coaching program. If you want to get my coaching program and all of my picks for all my sports, that's $49.95 a month. That includes Major League Baseball. That includes NFL, includes soccer. NCAA basketball looks like it's going to start up in about December. $49.95, that gives you access to everything on the site. If you just want the coaching program, what you get in our coaching program is you get all of my lines for all sports. We have a vault of videos that are for coaching clients only. You have access to all of those, and I upload just about 1 video a week to coaching clients on something that's relevant in the world of sports handicapping. You get unlimited email support from me. If you're interested in building a stat model, I can get you help you get that stat model off the ground and move it in the right direction. So anyway, hopefully that helps. Again, make smart wagers, and let's have a profitable weekend. Peace.